Good afternoon and welcome back, everyone. In this video, we'll take a look at the Nutanix Prism Element VM dashboard. Now, to navigate to the VM dashboard, we'll simply click the dashboard dropdown and then select VM. Now, when we go to the VM dashboard, initially we're taken to this Overview tab. And the Overview tab is going to have a couple of tabs across the top left, and then some blue action buttons that correspond to the name of that dashboard, such as the Create VM action button. And then down below, we'll have several widgets here that relate to our VMs, such as a VM summary. We can see here we have 15 VMs. Some of them are powered on, some are off, as well as if we had any in a suspended or paused or unknown state, they would be populated here as well. Now to create a VM, it's pretty simple. We'll click on the Create VM button. Now, creating a VM is really as simple as filling out the form. So we'll give our VM a name. So we'll call this one Demo 1. We could enter a description if we wanted to, select time zone preferences, but we'll just skip forward here and now just focus on the compute details. So within the compute details, we can start to assign things like vCPUs to our VM. So I could give this VM 2 vCPUs. We'll just stick with 1 for the number of cores, and then 4 gig of RAM. Scrolling down a little bit, next here under disk, we can start to add different disks to our VM. Some of the different options here, I'm going to select Clone from Image Service. Nutanix Prism Element does have a built-in image service that you can pre-upload your images to. And then once you select that, here within the image dropdown, you can select which particular image that you want to assign here. For this particular example, I'll just assign this Windows Server 2016 image and then click Add. Additionally, you could add another disk. We could do something like a 5 gig data disk, for example, just by filling in the 5 right there in the size drop down on the size box. Click Add, and then that disk will be added as well. As we scroll down here, the next step to creating a VM is going to be to add a new NIC. So we can click on Add a new NIC, then Add. And then lastly, if we had any customization scripts like Cloud-init or sysprep that we wanted to be applied to the VM as it started to come online, we could copy and paste those scripts here as well. I'm going to deselect that and then just click Save. Now, if we notice here in the activity dropdown, we'll notice that the VM is going to go out and be created. It's at 100%. So once that VM is showing 100% creation, then we can click on the Table tab. Now, the Table tab is going to display all your VMs that are created within your environment. So if we take a step back here, we can see our demo VM was indeed created. If we select it, there'll be kind of this blue-gray color that's kind of highlighted, letting us know that we selected this VM. And then we can right-click and do some different options, such as power on this VM. Again, you'll see the task here start to change the VM power state, and just for time's sake, I'm just going to click on a different VM here. But when you do click on the VM, you'll notice here kind of in this bottom panel that we'll have a lot of different properties and widgets start to populate. So for this Era server VM, we'll be able to see things like our VM performance, so our CPU usage, memory usage, and several other helpful graphs here that can assist us with our VM troubleshooting. And then we can tab along here as well and look at things like our virtual disk, VM NICs, any snapshots that we might have created by clicking on the Take Snapshot button, for example. Any tasks that are performed against our VMs, as well as different I/O metrics and console information. Just to take a quick look at some of the different actions we can perform, we can manage our guest tools. Nutanix does have its own guest tools similar to VMware tools that we can manage here. We could launch a console into that VM, power on or power off, take a snapshot, migrate this VM to a different node in the Nutanix cluster, as well as create a clone. If we wanted to go back in and update some of those properties, such as increase the vCPU or memory count, we can do that here. Or we could delete this VM if maybe the application retired and it's no longer needed. And then the last piece of information I wanted to go over here is this VM details pane. So whenever you select a VM, you'll see these additional details such as the name, which host the VM is living on, some of those properties that we defined when we created the VM, such as the amount of memory and NIC information as well, all displayed here within this left panel. But that's going to do it for an overview of the VM dashboard. Today we looked at the VM dashboard in Prism Element, as well as how to create a VM and view some of the different statistics related to that VM that can assist us with troubleshooting, as well as some of the different actions we can take on the VM from within Prism Element. Thanks for listening today, and I hope everyone continues to watch and like these videos, and I hope they were helpful. Thanks.